Ladies and gentlemen, when you find yourself standing at a crossroads in life feeling uncertain about the path ahead, it's natural to wonder, is this the right door? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Is this the breakthrough I've been praying for? But here's the truth. God doesn't leave us in the dark when He's about to open the right door. In fact, He gives us signs, little nudges, whispers in our spirit. And if we're tuned in, we can recognize them. One of the first signs that God is opening the right door is when you feel a sense of peace, even in the midst of uncertainty. You know what I'm talking about? The kind of peace that doesn't make sense. The kind of peace that stands firm when everything else is shaking. It's as if God is whispering, don't worry, I've got this. When you walk through the right door, you won't feel confused or overwhelmed by anxiety. You'll know deep within that even though the journey ahead may not be perfect, you're exactly where you're meant to be. When God is opening the right door, one of the first signs you'll experience is a deep sense of peace, even in the midst of uncertainty. This peace isn't about everything falling perfectly into place or knowing every detail of the journey ahead. It's about an inner calm that settles in your spirit, a knowing that surpasses your understanding. You may not have all the answers, but you trust that God is leading you, guiding you, and holding you every step of the way. This peace often stands in stark contrast to the anxiety, confusion, and doubt that typically accompany life's big decisions. It's the kind of peace that allows you to step forward with courage, even when you're unsure of what's ahead. It doesn't mean there won't be challenges, but rather it's a confidence that God is with you in the challenge, that you won't be walking alone. This peace reassures you that God is orchestrating every detail for your good, even when you don't see the full picture. When the right door opens, peace replaces fear, and your heart begins to align with God's plan for your life, giving you the strength to walk through the door with faith. The second sign comes when your heart is aligned with His purpose. You know, sometimes we try to force open doors because they seem like the best option, but when it's God's door, it aligns with His will. You feel that deep knowing that this door is opening not for your personal gain, but to fulfill a greater purpose. You'll see how it aligns with your gifts, your passions, and your calling. Suddenly, the things that once felt like burdens become opportunities to serve, to grow, and to make an impact. You'll realize that God's timing is not about convenience, but about fulfillment. When God is opening the right door, you'll begin to notice a powerful alignment between your heart and His purpose. This alignment isn't accidental, it's divinely orchestrated. As you move forward, you'll realize that the door before you is not just an opportunity, it's a part of God's greater plan for your life. Your desires, your gifts, and your passions will begin to resonate with the purpose He has set before you. You won't feel the need to force anything because you'll recognize that what is being offered is not just a good opportunity, but the right one, perfectly tailored to fulfill His will. You'll start to see how your experiences, your struggles, and even the moments of growth have all led you to this point. What once seemed like random events now make sense in the context of God's purpose for you. The work you're called to do no longer feels like a burden, but a calling you were meant to answer. As you step through the right door, you'll find that the things that matter most to you align perfectly with the gifts and talents God has entrusted to you, confirming that you're walking in alignment with His will. A third sign is when you begin to experience unexpected favor. It's not just about getting what you want, it's about getting what you need at just the right time. Favor doesn't mean you'll always get everything on your terms, but it does mean that doors will open in ways that you couldn't have imagined. You might find favor in places and with people you least expect. People will begin to take notice of your efforts, your integrity, and your heart. It's not luck, it's the hand of God guiding you through a season of divine opportunities. When the right door is opening, you'll begin to experience favor in ways you never expected. This favor isn't just about getting what you want, it's about receiving what you need at exactly the right time. As you walk through God's door, doors will open for you in places and with people that you couldn't have orchestrated on your own. Opportunities will come your way that feel almost too good to be true, but deep down, you'll know it's the hand of God at work in your life. People who don't even know you will suddenly be drawn to support you, help you, or offer you opportunities that align with your purpose. The favor you receive won't always come in the form of instant success, but it will be undeniable. It will show up in the way others go out of their way to assist you, or how things seem to fall into place even when the path ahead is unclear. This kind of favor doesn't just happen by chance. It's a sign that you're stepping into the right door. It's God showing you that He's behind the scenes, moving the pieces of your life into place, preparing you for the journey ahead. Another sign is when you feel a deep sense of confidence in who you are, even in the face of challenges. When God is opening the right door, you'll know who you are in Him. You'll stop second guessing your worth, and instead you'll walk into each new day with a renewed sense of purpose. No, the challenges won't stop, but you'll begin to see them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Confidence comes not from the absence of fear, but from trusting that God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. When God opens the right door, you'll experience a profound shift in your confidence. It's not the kind of confidence that comes from external validation or worldly success, but one that's rooted deeply in who you are in Him. You will no longer second guess your worth or feel the need to prove yourself to anyone. Instead, you will stand firm in the knowledge that you are His creation, equipped with everything you need to walk into the purpose He has for you. This confidence doesn't come from your own strength, but from the assurance that God is empowering you to move forward. Even when challenges arise, you'll face them with a quiet boldness, knowing that His strength is greater than any obstacle before you. The moments that once felt intimidating or overwhelming will no longer shake you, because you understand that God is with you, sustaining you and providing what you need. As you step into new seasons and unfamiliar territory, your confidence will grow, not because the path is easy, but because you know the one who is leading you through it. This confidence is a sign that you're walking through the right door, fully trusting in God's plan for your life. The fifth sign you might notice is that the door you're walking through feels natural yet supernatural. There's a flow that you didn't have to force. It's not that things come easy, but they feel right. When God opens a door, there's a rhythm to it, even when things seem chaotic. You'll find that the right door doesn't drain you. It may stretch you, but it doesn't wear you out. It doesn't leave you feeling like you're constantly running on empty. Instead, you'll find the strength to keep going even on the hardest days. When God opens the right door, you'll begin to notice a rhythm to your life that feels both natural and supernatural. It's not that everything will be effortless, but there will be a flow that carries you through even the hardest parts of the journey. You won't have to force things to work out, because there will be a sense of ease in the midst of your effort. The challenges you face won't drain you, but rather they will reveal the strength God has been building within you. Things will begin to fall into place in ways you couldn't have planned. And even when obstacles arise, you'll find yourself navigating them with a sense of purpose and clarity. You might feel stretched, but you won't feel completely worn out. The door God is opening doesn't come with constant struggle or burnout. Instead, there's a holy balance that sustains you. You'll see that even the difficult moments are filled with a purpose, and in the struggle, you'll experience God's presence in a way that carries you forward. The right door brings a sense of movement, an ongoing, divinely orchestrated flow where you can trust that you're exactly where you're meant to be and you have everything you need to keep going. You'll also recognize God's hand at work when you start receiving confirmation from unexpected sources. Sometimes the confirmation you need isn't from your closest circle or the people you expect. It comes from a conversation with a stranger, a sermon that speaks directly to your situation, or a random encounter that feels like a divine setup. God doesn't just speak to us in our quiet time. He speaks through other people, through circumstances, and through moments that only He can orchestrate. When the right door is opening, the confirmations begin to stack up in such a way that you can't deny God's involvement in your life. As God opens the right door, you'll begin to receive confirmation in the most unexpected ways. These aren't just vague affirmations, but clear signs that God is actively guiding you. Sometimes the confirmation comes from an unexpected source, like a stranger offering encouragement, or a conversation that touches on exactly what you've been praying about. You might hear a sermon, read a scripture, have a dream that aligns perfectly with the direction you're heading. It will feel like God is speaking directly to your situation. Even through things you didn't anticipate, these confirmations come at just the right time, offering reassurance and clarity when doubt tries to creep in. You'll notice that God uses both people and circumstances to confirm his will for your life. It could be through someone's words, or even through doors that begin to open effortlessly. You might also experience moments where things fall into place in a way that feels like a divine setup, leaving no doubt that God is orchestrating every detail. These confirmations are not just coincidences. They are God's way of reassuring you that you're on the right path and that he is with you every step of the way, even when the journey feels uncertain. A seventh sign is when you start feeling a holy dissatisfaction with the status quo. When God opens the right door, he doesn't just open a door to something better. He opens a door to something different. You'll begin to feel a stirring in your spirit that what you have now isn't enough. This holy dissatisfaction is not a curse, it's a blessing. It's God preparing you for more, preparing you for greater, preparing you for what you were always meant to step into. This dissatisfaction is the fuel that will drive you through the door he's opening. When the right door is opening, you'll begin to feel a holy dissatisfaction with where you are. It's not a frustration or a complaint, but rather a deep stirring within you that what you have now isn't all that God has for you. It's a feeling that pushes you to grow, to stretch, and to move beyond the comfort zone you've been in. This holy dissatisfaction is a sign that God is calling you to more, that he is preparing you for a new level of purpose and fulfillment. It's like the stirring you feel when you're ready to step into a new season and you know that staying where you are isn't an option anymore. This dissatisfaction isn't about being ungrateful for what you have, but about realizing that God has something greater for you. It's the kind of restlessness that refuses to settle for mediocrity, that encourages you to pursue what God has placed in your heart. It motivates you to take the leap of faith, knowing that stepping through the right door means stepping into a life that aligns with your true calling. This feeling of discontent is not a curse, but a blessing, because it signifies that God is preparing you for the next chapter in your journey. Finally, you'll recognize that God is opening the right door when you see fruit in places where there once was none. Things that were once barren begin to bloom. What you've sown in tears and prayer begins to bear fruit in ways you didn't expect. This is a sign that God is in control, that his hand is on your life, and that he is orchestrating the details for your good. The fruits of your labor will become evident, and you'll start seeing results that confirm you're walking in his will. When the right door opens, you'll begin to see the fruits of your labor in places where there once was barrenness. What once seemed like seeds planted in dry soil will start to sprout and grow, and you'll witness the tangible results of everything you've been working toward. This is not a coincidence, but a divine manifestation of God's faithfulness. It's a sign that you've been walking in alignment with his will, even through seasons of waiting and uncertainty. Where there was once struggle and toil without visible results, now there will be breakthroughs and new opportunities. You'll see how God has been nurturing the seeds of your faith, your hard work, and your perseverance. What once felt like unproductive effort will begin to bear fruit, and you'll marvel at the way God is using your journey for his glory. The right door brings about a harvest, whether in your relationships, career, or personal growth, that confirms you're walking the path he has designed for you. The blessings you experience will not just be for you, but will overflow to others as well. These fruits are a testament to God's provision and timing, revealing that he was always working behind the scenes, even when you couldn't see it. When God opens the right door, it's not just about stepping into new opportunities. It's about stepping into his perfect plan for your life. The signs he gives us are not random. They are intentional markers, guiding us along the way and reassuring us that we are not alone. Peace in the midst of uncertainty, alignment with his purpose, favor that comes from unexpected sources, and the confidence to walk forward in his strength. These are all divine clues that we are on the right path. As we experience the natural flow of life, even amidst challenges, and receive confirmation from sources we didn't anticipate, we begin to understand that God is at work in every detail. The holy dissatisfaction we feel is not a sign of failure, but an invitation to grow, to step into something greater than ourselves. We are called to move beyond where we are into a future filled with promise. And as we continue on this journey, the fruit of our labor begins to show in ways we could never have imagined. The doors that God opens aren't just about success, they're about transformation, about moving from where we were to where He's calling us to be. So as you stand before the doors that God is opening for you, trust in these signs. Step forward with faith, knowing that He is prepared